There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Imagineers Disney Podcast. I am your host, Matt, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend and co-host, Susie. Hello, Susie.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, doing all right. How are you?
It's been better. First live show from my mom's guest room. Electricity went out at my house this afternoon quite a few times, so Nothing wanting to mess up the live stream. She's fancy and has a generator. So, just Florida things.
Yeah, we kind of had some really bad weather today. Like
Yeah.
it was raining sideways.
Yeah.
It was not safe to be on the road. So I
No.
waited to leave work a little late today.
It was actually pretty bad when we were coming back from Orlando this weekend too. We pulled off at Buc-ee's, which is a really easy place to get sidetracked.
Oh
I hung
man.
out at Buc-ee's for like a half hour.
Thank you, Texas. You've given us so much, but Buc-ee's might be at the top of the list.
Yeah. This is the greatest contribution the state has made, let's be honest.
Yeah. But well, what were you doing in Orlando, Susie?
Yeah, no, just hanging out with some of my close personal friends like Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter and Jim Cummings and Dante Bosco, just the usual.
Just the usual. So yeah, she
Yeah.
went to Fanboy Expo and was able to represent the podcast and represented it well. I'm looking forward to seeing all the video that you shot that I sent you with the camera. So
Oh, okay.
I gave
It's
her
good.
I gave you a 125 gig card, and you came back with like 20 minutes left on the card. So I'll have lots to support.
I knew Matt couldn't go, so I also just wanted to record a lot for him to experience. The panels were amazing. We had a great chat even before and after, just because the crowd level was a little bit low. They had a couple things working against them. It's just a smaller con in general, but one of the really big regional cons was rescheduled to the week before, and COVID and just a bunch of things. So
you
even
got to meet Pamby.
Yes, and there were only a few, the room was not full. So afterwards, he was just going around and it's like, you guys want to take pictures and talking with us. And Thumper came over and was asking, because were from Florida and he has family up in the Northeast, and there's a hurricane up there. And so we're giving Thumper, hurricane tips. It was a good weekend.
Yep. So, well, glad you had a good time. Looking forward to seeing the footage on that. And of course, we'll be having a very special video next month because we're coming to the end of August. So next month, our patrons on Patreon will have exclusive access to everything that you shot video with. So I'm looking forward to keeping that together. But speaking of our patrons,
yes,
shout out to our new patrons, Mr. Jason F. and Michael N. And I know that Michael is watching for the first time tonight, his first live show. So welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome. You are just in time because we are about to do our monthly Patreon drawing. So for those of you who don't know, we do have a Patreon where we have supporters financially support us throughout the years and months. As little as $2 a month, you can get exclusive content geared directly towards you. And part of the benefits of being a Patreon member with us is we have monthly drawings. So we'll have a little prize each month. And for this month, we actually got this back in July. But we what were we there for? We were all down there. Oh, it was for when I ran when we did the 5K.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I don't remember. I'm blacked out during those. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. When we went to Disney Springs. Okay.
Yeah, when we went to Disney Springs. So this is technically like a summer water bottle, but it can be summer all the time. So we got
it could be summer all year round, like
vacation mode.
That's just cute. I almost said cute. It is cute. I almost said cute and cool because it's like guys can have it too.
A nice little stainless steel there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So as always, we put all of our patrons' names in the Mickey Sink, and I do not look, and I pull out a winning name. And this month's winner,
I'm so nervous.
This month's winner of the water bottle is Kelly W.
Yay, Kelly!
Yay, Kelly. So we'll be messaging you and getting your address, and we will get that into the mail as quickly as possible.
That's awesome.
before we get into the main subject, I feel like we got to talk about what was released yesterday. Just very briefly.
Oh, yeah, it was technically yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I feel like I would say it feels like a very rushed thing to do, but when you know the significance that that date actually has
Was that by an
to
accident?
Marvel, no, there's no way that was there are 365 days in the year, and they release a trailer for a December movie 3 months ahead of time. It had to be very specifically for this date, which is a date referenced in WandaVision.
I'm looking for the image, so keep talking about
On
it.
the calendar.
Yes.
There's a calendar. Okay, so in WandaVision and like the first episode, the Dick Van Dyke episode, they are looking at the calendar and they're like, or Vision can't remember what's so special about this day. There's a heart on it, and it's implied that I think it's end up supposed to be the day they're supposed to move into their home, or that the house that Vision
Yeah,
was
it was in the very first
building.
episode.
Yeah.
There it is. So there's the screenshot of it. There is a marker above August 23rd. And it may not have any significance, but it just so happens that was the release date for the Spider-Man trailer, which we got. And boy, did we get it.
Finally. Oh my gosh. Finally, though, like there's been so many like rumors and things surrounding this movie, and we got a couple of them solidified, and I'm so excited. So
did we spoil it? I mean, for the people who have been maybe living under a rock.
It's a trailer. I don't feel like you can spoil a trailer because the trailer doesn't spoil the movie necessarily.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
Special shout out for our friend Michael, who is also a fellow podcaster.
This is true.
And Mr. David Dollar, for those of you who are avid listeners of the podcast, you may remember him from a few of our episodes. Friend of the podcast, we've been on a podcast with him, but his fellow podcaster Michael, they're going to be doing a breakdown of the trailer on the Deucecast tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern on YouTube. Shameless plug. No problem.
Yeah,
we always support our friends.
There's a lot to break down, so that'll be really fun. Biggest thing though, spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Doc Ock, Green Goblin,
Hello,
Sandman.
Electro.
What was Electro? Holy crap! This is gonna be so good, and it looks like Doctor Strange is kind of the one who also is screwing up the timeline, not just Sylvie and Wanda.
You would think he would be the serious one, like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
He's the one that maybe
but instead, like, a high schooler is like, I'm embarrassed, can you help me? And he's like, sure, I'm a wizard.
I'll do whatever spell you want me to do. Even though Wong was like, don't do the spell. Peace out.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories going around about what all that means. Is it actually Doctor Strange? Like all kinds of stuff. I'm so stoked. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are the ones that got me into comic book movies. I loved those movies, so I'm very excited. I don't mind the third one. I don't mind the third one. I wish it had ended a little happier. There was also too much going on. That's a whole conversation for another time, though. Another
time. Shout out to everybody who's watching. So, Mr. Elrod, hello, sir. Glad to see you on.
We're
doing all right. No. Then our friend Danny on YouTube. Let's go. Would I rather be writing and doing actual work or listen to Imagineers? I think you know the answer. Thank you for always listening, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for procrastinating whatever you needed to do.
And Megan says hello. Hey, Megan.
Hey, Megan.
So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We have a...
Stop.
This is going to be so much fun.
Do you not think I have a little ounce of self-control?
We'll see. So tonight we are going to be talking about the new Genie program at Disney World and Disneyland. So this is for both Disney World and Disneyland. Everything you need to know about Genie, Genie Plus, and Lightning Lane. So There's a lot to take in tonight. We're going to try to go as quickly as possible and give you as much information as possible in a very short time. Okay, so we first heard about Genie in 2019 at D23.
That's right.
Yes, so this has been in the works for quite some time. I think that it would have been released sooner had there not been a pandemic. So the idea that this is because of the pandemic, I think is inaccurate because it's been in the works for quite some time. So this is the official replacement for FastPass. It is also the official replacement for MaxPass in Disneyland. So those things have been officially retired. So let's start with Genie. I'm going to pull up the graphics here. So we're going to touch on all of these things and kind of give a breakdown of what it all means. So there is Genie, and that is going to be things that are included. So not everything is paid for with this new program. Some things come complimentary to you as the guest. So this includes personalized itineraries, tip boards, which will be able to show you recommend times to go to rides, forecasted future wait times. You can look at restaurant wait times and check-ins and reservations, so including walk-up reservations. Mobile orders and attraction virtual queues are all going to be stored here as well. And then there's going to be Disney Genie Plus, which is going to be a paid option. It's going to be $15 per day at Disney World, $20 per day at Disneyland. And then we will get into the details of what all of these include here in just a minute. So let's start with Genie. So one of the big features of Genie is you are going to be able to select what you value the most, like essentially what you're a fan of, like what you want to accomplish when you go to the park. So you can select attractions. You can do Haunted Mansion or Small World, Big Thunder Mountain. They're going to give you the whole list, and all you have to do is check. And then I'm double checking this next graphic. Yep. You can also, if you're not sure what ride, you can filter it by interest as well. So if you like Disney princesses or Disney villains or Disney classics, you'll be able to select those as well. And then at some point during the day, you'll get like a push notification letting you know now is a good time to go to those attractions.
A little nudge, if you will, to kind of get you to go in that direction based on wait time. And obviously not if the line is short, not everyone who's interested in Haunted Mansion is getting the push notification at the same time. They're going to be spacing things out throughout the day so that you have a better chance of doing the things you want to do in a timely manner.
Right. And basically what the app is there to do is to maximize your time in the park and have you in line as little as possible. So you'll be able to go into Genie, which is going to be a skin inside the My Disney Experience app. And it'll tell you the good time to go to that attraction based on data that they have stored over years and years. Like they've talked, they've done research on days of the year and what days of the week, like everything, and the expected wait times and low wait times during the day. So there's a lot in this system, and it's pretty complicated. I think that's my only hesitation. I hope that it doesn't crash like all the time.
I hope it doesn't crash. And then my hesitation is you will get so consumed with the app, checking the app. We can't go do that. Genie didn't say, calm down. It's okay. You're going to have a good time anyway. We've gotten through literally 49 years and 11 months and 6 days or whatever without this. So you can still have a good time. Obviously, if you work with Matt and I as your travel agents and you have any questions at any point, you can still come to us. But my concern would just be people burying their nose and then getting mad when they follow Genie's instructions and it's still not like how they anticipated. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah,
Genie said, like, okay, Genie's not real. It's not a person.
my only hesitation
blame
is
it.
like, what happens when you're over by, say, Space Mountain and it tells you to go over to Big Thunder Mountain because the wait is low, and by the time you get over there, the wait time has increased. So that's
that's like a 10-minute walk. Yeah.
Depending on
right. Well,
of your feet and by the speed of the motorized scooter that you have. So
plowing people down in front of you.
I don't know why you gotta get to Big Thunder. So I'm sure they have thought through that. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. Let me go back to our little graphics here. Let's go back to the tip board. This also helps with dining as well. So it will tell you, because if you're in the parks, especially Magic Kingdom, mobile order has become a very big thing when you are in the parks throughout the day, because you actually can't just walk up to quick service windows anymore, order, then get your food and go sit down. You have to
actually, Matt, this weekend I saw you could. I was shocked because we still did it on the app. I don't remember seeing an official announcement for that.
Where were you?
But when Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom both had it. So went to get a blue milk. They had the regular and digital and mobile order and docking bay 7. So not just
big
drink, like the actual So I don't remember seeing that as like an official announcement. So maybe some places are easing back into it.
Okay, great. No, that's fantastic. But I do like the functionality of mobile order as well, because
it's so much easier.
You're not physically standing in a line. You can sit down and just wait. You're not having to wait in line with a bunch of people surrounding you. So it does help with, if you like your personal space, you can go ahead and claim your table and just wait it out until the menu item is, until your meal is ready. So it's going to give you next windows for mobile orders, and then it also tell you what the walk-up wait list time is for dining reservations as well at table service restaurants. So that's very good. So Genie Plus is the next version of the Genie experience.
Time out real quick. I thought this, and then David Dollar made a point of it on social somewhere. I don't understand why it's called Genie Plus. I feel like they are very different things. Because when I think of Genie, I think of like make all of like your wishes come true, everything you'd planned for the trip. This next thing, I don't feel like has that same connection to Genie. I don't think the name is very descriptive of what it is. That's all.
It's a plus.
That's not all, but that's it for
Genie?
now. Is it though?
Well, I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
But kind of not. We'll see. We'll get into it.
It has plus features that you don't get with just Genie.
Disney loves adding plus to everything.
So I'm going to go back to this other graphic here just real quick. Some of the things that you will get with Genie Plus are Lightning Lane access, and then Disney PhotoPass AR lenses at Walt Disney World, PhotoPass downloads from the same day at Disneyland, and audio experiences. So we're going to
audio experiences. Bring it on.
Do you even know what they are?
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about them.
Okay, good. That one I didn't see.
So Lightning Lane is, Lightning Lane is part of Genie Plus. It is essentially FastPass's replacement. So if you have ever been to Disneyland recently, they had Max Pass. It is the Max Pass system basically at Disney World. So Gone are the days of selecting your fast passes 60 days in advance. They are all done the day of. There is a perk for resort guests. If you are staying at a Disney World resort, you are going to have access to select your first Lightning Lane attraction at 7 a.m. Everyone else who is not a resort guest will have to wait until they are in the park to do it. So, and that's actually the way it was at Disneyland. Once you were inside the park, it became open to select your then Fast Pass. Now we're going to call it Lightning Lane Pass. So, resort guests, 7 a.m., you'll be able to select your first Lightning Lane Pass. And then you do one at a time as the day goes on. So,
which if that sounds familiar, it's because it is.
Very familiar.
Remember the days of going for rope drop to run to Tomorrowland to get a fast pass for Space Mountain and then having to sit on that random time you got until you used it. And, that could be 10 a.m. or it could be 3 p.m. and you can't get another one in between. So getting a lot of flashbacks by that general structure of using one at a time.
That's right. And essentially it's the old FastPass system, but it's digital. So now you will be able to see the return times in the app and just select those within the Genie Plus area of the My Disney Experience app. So,
well, there's one other major difference between paper and digital. Just besides it being paper and digital.
Yes.
The old one was free.
The old one was free. This one is $15 at Disney World. Again, it was paid at Disneyland too. And, people are going insane about this. They're taking away all of our free perks.
Well,
we'll get to more in our
people go to Disney World than go to Disneyland. That's the
we will get to our thoughts on this as soon as we kind of explain how all of this works. So I think we have adequately explained the Lightning Lane in the Genie Plus. But
hold on. I do want to also make one more thing clear. There's multiple during the day. So it's not just the one.
Oh, yeah.
So after you ride your one, then you can get another one. Okay. I want to make that clear. It is not $15 to ride one ride for that with that system. That's a completely different topic that we'll get to in just a second. But Genie Plus is multiple attractions, throughout the day, availability pending.
But it is not all attractions.
Correct.
So there are going to be a handful of attractions. We don't have the official list yet. There was
I can think of one.
There was there was a possible list that was kind of leaked. It seems accurate. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it really just had a couple of attractions in each park. For Magic Kingdom, they had listed, again, this is not an official list. So we will see if this comes to fruition. But the attractions in Magic Kingdom were Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Space Mountain. In Epcot, it was Frozen and Test Track and Ratatouille. Well, no. Well, we'll get to Ratatouille in a second. So kind of three there. Hollywood Studios, I believe it was just Rise of the Resistance, and that's it. So we'll see about that as well. And then Animal Kingdom was Flight of Passage and the Safari,
which sucks.
But there's speculation that the point is, with all of these kind of top tier popular attractions, you are going to have to shell out a little bit more cash in addition to the $15 that you are paying, and it will essentially give you instant access to the ride. Rise of the Resistance is going to be the most expensive one. I would assume that probably Space Mountain and the Safari. Again, if those are the attractions that they choose, are going to be the bottom tier of that. And there's speculation that it may be something like $5. So, but not for Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance is going to be much more than that. So,
and that entire process for Rise is changing.
Yeah,
complete overhaul. Which, by the way, if you want to ride with me and you want to make sure you get a boarding pass, hang out with me because I have a perfect record for getting boarding passes.
Virtual queues. We'll go ahead and speak to those just real quick. We do know that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Rise of the Resistance will be virtual queues for the foreseeable future. So at least for a little bit, with the opening of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, that will be a virtual queue. So that will be done in the app as well. You will have to pay a little extra to ride that ride with immediate access. Was there anything else with those? Oh, going back to Genie Plus and some of its features, we did talk a little bit about the AR lenses. So this is going to be a feature inside it where you will be in certain areas of the park and you will have virtual reality Mickey or Minnie pop up behind you, and you'll be able to take photos and video of that. So that's a nice little function. And the audio function that Susie was talking about in not so nice ways. Based on the video presentation that they described on the Disney Parks YouTube channel, they're going to have, and we don't know exactly where all of these are going to be, but they're going to be areas in the park or items that you can play inside Genie Plus, where you will be able to listen in on like Imagineers and other Disney people talking about like attractions or areas of the park. That's the thing that they didn't really go into great detail about. But from what I understand, that is what that function of Genie Plus is going to be. So if you're like a Disney super nerd and you want to know all these facts and trivia from Imagineers themselves, we'll see what they have in store for that. That I think is a pretty cool function. So let's see if we have any questions. Let's see.
I know there's a couple comments.
Danny, Genie's rules apparently changed, but he can't bring anyone back from the dead, cannot kill anybody, cannot make anybody fall in love, and can't bring back free FastPass. No, he cannot. Oh, yeah, here we go. Sarah, why do you think they renamed it from FastPass to Lightning Lane? That's a good question.
They want to be difficult. I'll just be honest. How long? There are people who still say Downtown Disney.
Yeah.
It will never be completely Lightning Lane. It will never be completely Genie Plus. People will always still say FastPass. You
would think like the Lightning Lane would be something like Wish related with a Genie.
Yeah, instead of Lightning McQueen for like
Lightning
no
Lane
random reason.
For Lightning McQueen, Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Or if you're talking about your wallet,
Allie. Ka-chow.
Oh.
Are we getting into that talk now? No, let's do more comments.
More comments. Mastermind Outfitters. My issue is that every ride should be available for Lightning Lane, and they aren't. I get it.
Unless you buy it separately, a la carte, which we'll get to.
Right. Michael said, can't imagine it will be more than $5 extra per ride. It will
Michael, depend. I wish I lived in your happy world.
It will depend on the ride, because the cost to ride, again, let's just say that list was correct. The popularity of the Safari is going to be different than the popularity of Rise of the Resistance or a brand new attraction like Remy's. So,
or Tron. Can you imagine how it will be when Tron is finally built? Because these lists are ever going to be changing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Sarah says, do you think the Lightning Lane will still be $15 a day with a park hopper? Yes. I believe that is the they have not said anything differently.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about what that will actually look like when you are purchasing your day tickets?
Yeah. Okay. So
from a travel agent perspective, there's two options. One, of course, Matt can go into, you can purchase ahead of time, have that all pre-planned. You can also buy it day of. And that is especially going to be important for like pass holders.
Yeah. For right now,
don't have that, same ticket option as like an X set number of days. Like
that's right. To start, they did announce that pass holders will have the option to pay for it on a daily basis as needed. So if you're just down for the day and you want to buy it for the day, you can do that. If you're there for a couple
you don't
days,
have to. Let's go ahead and also get that out of the way. You do not have to do this. You can rely on the Genie portion, the regular Genie, the plus list Genie. You can rely on just doing your own thing. This is an added benefit, an added paid service.
Yep, paid service. And then again, the regular Genie portion of it is free as well, but it is optional. If you want to go nix the technology for a day, you can absolutely just wander the park like you always have been and do the standby lines. I will see if this helps the wait times for things. That'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, you can go. You don't have to use your phone. This is not something you have to do. It's just as an option for those of the people who want to use it. With the additional features of Genie Plus, that's the things that cost money. But regular Genie that allows you the ability to take advantage of the kind of predicted wait times, or where they'll tell you when to go to an attraction, especially one that you've checked off as a priority for your day. That is a free thing that you can do in the app. It doesn't cost you anything else. Okay. So, and then for vacation packages, it is not the length of stay. It is for the number of days in the park that you have. So however many day tickets you have, that is how many times you're going to be paying $15 a day. You can't do it
a la carte, or
you cannot do it a la carte.
I guess a la carte is the word, right? You can't pick and choose which day
you want
Genie Plus ahead of time.
That's right.
Think of it, all or nothing.
Think of it as Memory Maker. You're not buying Memory Maker for one day. You're buying it for the duration of your trip. So this is the same thing. It is for the total number of ticket days in your vacation package. All right. More questions. Let's see. Is it possible to ride Rise of the Resistance without paying?
Yes.
Well, technically, you have to pay to get in the park. So
okay.
I'm going to say that you already knew that. Yes. So the boarding group is still going to be, the virtual queue is still going to be in use.
At 7.
At 7.
Not at 1 p.m.
Correct. So
now there is one chance to join the virtual queue. There won't be a regular standby line, though. There's only 2 lines at Rise. Yeah. I don't think they'd be sending everyone. Yeah. So maybe that also means, though, they're opening more boarding groups up at that 7 a.m., obviously, than they had before.
So over the past week or so, they've actually had days where things have gone so well for the ride and the crowds haven't been too bad, where at the end of the day, they were allowing people without boarding groups to go ride it. They were allowing just a walk up. So things are pointing in the right direction for that ride. I know it's taken a little bit for the computer is to have consistently good days. It is a very, very advanced ride when it comes to technology. So,
and we're back at basically capacity for that attraction. There's no more limited, whatever. They're basically like shoving people back into the transport in which you get, caught in the tractor beam. So they're not limiting it to like 20 people in there. It's like 40 or more.
Yeah. Nicole said, so boarding groups will still be separate from the paid lightning lane? Yes, that is correct. Okay, next question. Let's see. We have to pay to ride those two. We already answered that.
Matt, here's a good one. Have they from Sarah? Have they announced a date when you can purchase Genie Plus? She's going for the 50th weekend. We will be there at the 50th weekend. That is just over a month away.
I've heard it's more mid-October.
But that's the kind of day where I could definitely see a person wanting to go ahead and pay, or on a holiday, or, like a long weekend, like Martin Luther King weekend, where it just gets really busy, randomly, if you want to just go down and do that. So there's definitely a benefit to those busier days to go ahead and purchase that, but no specific date yet.
Michael asked, do you think they would have the guts to actually charge as much as $15 extra for one single ride? That would be insane. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
For really just one or two. I think Rise of the Resistance, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, at least for the start, and Flight of Passage are going to be the most expensive ones to purchase, with Rise of the Resistance being the most expensive.
Now, as a single person, $15 to, let's just say I don't get a boarding group. I'm down there by myself. I'm out, from out of state. It's my first time going to Disney in a long time. I can't go back, for a couple of years. For me, $15, if that were me, it'd be a no-brainer. But family of 4, family of 5, you know what I mean? That can add up really, really quickly. So for a single attraction, like I get it, but also if you're not going back, it sucks that they put you in a position to have to decide between shelling out another $60 to $80 for your family to ride one ride because you had bad Wi-Fi service at your hotel that morning for boarding groups. Yep. That's ultimately what it comes down to, is the quality of your Wi-Fi in the morning.
Let's see here. Let's see. If you're paying $15, this is from Steve. If you're paying $15, the Lightning Lane better be a shorter wait time than the FastPass Plus. I would think that it will be, because obviously in the past, FastPass Plus was included. Everyone had access to it. This is now a pay-to-play thing. So I think logically, you're going to have fewer people in the Lightning Lane than you would in the FastPass Plus lane. So I think it will bring down the wait times for the people in Lightning Lane. It all depends on how many people buy it. I will say this, because I have done the Max Pass, the old Max Pass system in Disneyland, which is going to be very similar to what this experience is going to be. I was like, oh, is this going to be worth it? $15 in addition to my park ticket. I did it, and it saved my day. It saved so much time than going around and getting, again, paper fast passes. I was able to maximize my park day in Disneyland, and it was awesome. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. We'll get into our thoughts in just a second, as soon as we go through the last bit of questions. I'm just scanning here real quick. Have they announced a date when you purchase Genie Plus? Oh yeah, I see your comment. So yeah, we're thinking probably mid-October. Sarah's last question: if you pay the additional fee for a premium ride, do you think you'll be able to select a time or will it be randomly assigned? That is a good question.
I would hope it syncs with your plans and would not send you back during a dining reservation.
Yeah. So
that's the only thing I can think of where it's very objective in terms of like Disney knows you won't be available during this time. Not that you wanted to go back to your hotel for a nap or you left something in your car, you know?
I think it will be, well, I don't know. It's hard to say because you're going to be able to select these starting at 7:00 in the morning for resort guests. So
and is that randomly assigned, or do you get to choose your time for that one as well?
We don't know. So this
okay.
At this point, this is speculation, but I would just assume it might just be the best available time. So, and then you kind of plan around that. But we will see. We will see once it rolls out. Of course, we will test all of this for you and let you know. One last.
Speaking of which, go ahead and like sign up to be a patron so that we can pay.
So one last important thing for the paid Lightning Lane extra attraction. So like the top tier ones, you will only be able to purchase 2 per day. So keep that in mind. Choose wisely. So if you have a park hopper, you will not be able to do Rise of the Resistance, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. You'll have to pick 2. And it's all going to be based on availability. So.
Wonder what this is going to do to the Parkeology Challenge.
I thought about that today, actually.
Oh, gosh.
So Rise of the Resistance twice then. No, that's not how this works. Oh, all right. Accidentally double clicked that. Okay. So we've gotten through all of the current list of questions from our listeners. Let's talk about our individual thoughts. Susie, let's start with you.
I feel like the only people I have seen praise this are people who have been to Disneyland. For everyone else who has not been to Disneyland, who has not had to pay a fee for a service that I don't care if the competition has a fee for the service. It's hard. I see why. I think lowering lines is a good idea. I think guaranteeing people who don't get to come to Disney very often to actually be able to ride their favorite attraction or a new attraction is good. I think this can add up quickly. I think that it's not going to stay at $15 for forever. I give it 2 years, then it's 20, and another 2 years, and it's 30. I just think over time, like tickets go up, hotel goes up, parking fee goes up. I'm still pissed about the parking fee. This will go up. I have just in my soul, I know it will not stay at $15 because you say, well, $15 isn't bad when Universal is charging $115 or $215 a day. However, it's not the same thing because Express Pass, you can just go from Express Pass to Express Pass to Express Pass line whenever you want. This, you're having to wait to get your callback time. So I don't think it's comparable. I still think it's its own thing. I like what it's going to accomplish, and I think it will accomplish what it sets out to. I think it sets a dangerous precedent. And my other concern is that the PR behind this is...
Can you elaborate on that last statement?
The precedents?
Yes.
That Disney is now for the upper middle class.
Okay.
Or above.
Okay.
The average person who now is going to say, I feel like I can't get my value from Disney unless I pay an extra $75 a day for my family. That's unfortunate that they feel that way because I think a lot of changes have come out in the last 6 weeks or so, and this just compounds it. So you've got park reservations basically staying. Hotel prices have gone up. Ticket prices have gone up. All these other things going on. And people already had a bad taste in their mouth for Disney when they saw how much Galactic Star Cruiser was going to cost because it's insane. And that's a luxury experience. Already paying $130 to go to the park to ride a ride and then paying more should not have to be a luxury thing. I think it will do what it's supposed to do, which is manage crowd control. I'm just a little bit weary that this is going to change people's perception of Disney, that Disney is no longer something they can't afford, which is, again, come work with Matt and I. We can find something to make it work for you guys. I don't want to talk it bad. I love Disney. Will I pay for this? I don't know.
I think you'll do it
occasionally if I have to. If it were in place for something like the 50th, then yeah, there'd be no way you would do anything else that day.
We're pass holders. I would be more inclined to do it on days that I know that are going to be busy.
Right, because it doesn't hurt me if I don't ride an attraction that I have ridden 30 times before. So for the family coming from Iowa who goes to Disney once in a blue moon, I get it. I just, and again, if these numbers concern you, talk to Matt and I. There's still very easy ways to get your value out of Disney. Other places to save money where you can compensate by adding the Genie Plus. I just think the attitude and the taste that this will put in people's mouths for Disney may not be a good one, just because it also is surrounding a lot of major changes that the parks are going through.
Yeah, there has been a lot of kind of negative. All of these things have happened so rapidly and in such quick succession, like with the Galactic Star Cruiser prices coming out.
I know
and then now the Genie Plus stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So I understand the frustration. I am trying to think of this in a logical business mindset.
Oh, yeah. No, so that side I agree with 100%.
That is the lens that I am trying to justify this.
It's the only way you can.
Here's where we are. I think that for a lot of people, that the middle income families has increased. I think more people can now afford to go to Disney than in the past. I think that is evident by the number of people that are coming to the parks. Over the past 10 years, 20 years, after the post 9/11, we've seen an increase in park attendance. It is becoming increasingly busy in the parks. Pre-COVID, I mean, there were days where crowds don't bother me. I don't care. Right. But, I mean, you would see people ranting and raving on social media about how busy and awful it was. The only way to combat that is to lower the crowds. Well, Disney is a business, so they have to still be able to make money. So the only way to reduce crowds and still make money is to start either raising ticket prices or start charging for extra experiences. This is what we're seeing. It is an effort, I think, to, yes, limit the amount of people that are coming into the parks and still get the people who really want to come. I know that this may be the final straw for some people. I get it. I don't disagree with you. I listen, at the end of the day, Disney is a luxury experience. We've just come to that point. If everyone were able to afford Disney, I see comments like that all the time. Walt would want everybody to be able to come to his park. Well, if everyone would be able to afford it, we wouldn't be able to move.
Yeah, but Walt also had Roy, right?
That is true. His businessman. So
Walt did not operate in a vacuum. So just to piggyback off of that, which what you're saying is true, but I think it is going back to the other thing. We're coming off a year and a half of the absolute worst year and a half emotionally, economically. By the way, things are still not super back. And that's why I think the timing of this is terrible.
It is terrible, but
I probably would have I don't know if they could have waited into the new year, but I may have tried to wait into the new year because you already got people upset about all these other things. But to your point, Disney's not going to ever do anything that makes everybody happy. They can't. No. Nobody in any business can. And that's the thing. It's a business. So no, I agree. It's just, if you want to go to Disney, there are still, and if this concerns you, there are still ways to make it work. Don't let this be the thing where you say, well, I won't be able to experience anything because I'm not going to pay.
Yeah.
You're not the only one who's not going to pay. You can still have a good time.
Do I agree with everything that has gone on recently in the Disney parks? Absolutely not. I think there has been the reason for real criticism in some of the decisions that have been made recently. But I still stand by the fact that this is where I enjoyed spending time with my family the most.
Same.
So it still has value to me. And the question is, does it have value to you? So, we'll just have to see how this all pans out. I mean,
it's one of those things that you're sad about the NBA experience going away. Is that what you're so upset about that Disney decided to do? Or is it the DJ on Main Street?
Now,
I saw it and I was like, what?
For those of you who don't know
in person,
what's going on,
so odd.
If you don't know what Susie was talking about, a couple nights ago, there was a video that was posted on like Twitter, and it took me a little bit to figure out what was going on. There was a guy dressed in black with a microphone just in the train station at Magic Kingdom.
I felt like I was being yelled at,
telling
over
people
loud music.
If you're going to the monorail, go over here. If you're going to the ferry, go here. Hope you guys had a great time today. Stuff like that, and music's playing and stuff. So I'm like, did this like random person get a hold of some PA system? And I'm like looking around. I'm like, the cast members aren't doing anything. They hired a DJ for park exit time, and he played music in the train station. I'm like, well, that was kind of weird, but I feel bad for the guy, because there was immediate backlash on social media. I'm sure the guy is a great DJ. I hope this hasn't hurt his job, because it's not about him. It was about choosing to have him in where.
Right. It's not that he did a bad job. It's that the idea of having a DJ yell at people as they're exiting the park is completely bizarre. He did what he was supposed to do, but the entire concept was weird.
Yeah. If you put that in Epcot or in Hollywood Studios, nobody's going to bat an eye. When you throw it in the middle of Main Street USA as you're leaving, and it was also weird because there have been times during this pandemic where they had costume characters up there waving goodbye.
Right.
Like, that is a more memorable exit to me than a random DJ telling you, have a good night. Thanks for coming. So they pulled the plug on that very quickly after that. So again, my heart goes out to that poor DJ. He was put in a no-win situation. So should have been handled differently, but that's just me. Michael, was DJ Elliott busy or something? I guess. Love DJ Elliott. Well, I think
that'll do it.
I think that'll do it for this conversation. I think we've exhausted pretty much everything that we can talk about Genie Plus, Lightning Lane. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We, as your trusted travel agents, will be able to help you with anything that you need. So if you have specific questions about Genie Plus, Lightning Lane, what this all means for your next trip to Disney World or Disneyland, shoot us an email. Our email is imagineerspodcast@gmail.com. And if you need help with your next vacation, we'd be happy to help you with that as well. Whether it's Disney, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Sandals, all-inclusives, you want a hotel for the night, we can help you with that. So just shoot us an email with your preferred travel dates, and we will get you a no obligation quote. And as always, we appreciate your business. You are helping small businesses succeed. And we live to serve you. So we are here to help you wherever you want to go and to make sure that you have the best time spending time with those that you love. So thank you, everyone, for watching. As always, Steve, just looking at our final comments, you guys are our Genie Club.
Dang straight we are. That's right.
That's right. That's right. We're here to help you. We're giving you your wishes. So thank you, everybody, for listening, especially Steve. If you want to connect with us, we are on social media. You can find us by searching for the Imagineers Disney Podcast on your preferred social media platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Just search for the Imagineers Disney Podcast. And the same goes for our podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. So if you're on the run and you don't have time to watch a live video, or you're on your commute to work, you can find the audio portion of our podcast by searching for the Imagineers Disney Podcast on your preferred podcast platform. Well, you're in town this Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you back for a movie? We haven't decided what we're watching tonight, this weekend for our Discord movie Friday night watch party. Last week we watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We had a good time. It was a lot of fun. But we'll think about that. We'll announce that on social media. I'm sure we'll hash it out with our top tier patrons who we will be meeting here very soon. Right after this show, we'll talk about our plans for the weekend. But we look forward to coming at you next week with another episode. But until then, friends, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.